you look beautiful.
Thank you so much. So do you. I love it.
Thank you so much. The outfit, I heard that you originally read the script a few years before you started filming the movie. So what was it about the script that made you come back to it and said, okay, this is a project I want to be a part of?
I never came back to it. I always hunted it and begged Graham to let me be a part of it. I just had read it very early days, and I had lunch with him, and he expressed my enthusiasm for it, and luckily I convinced him, and so it was a long journey, but it was so exciting, and it's just so awesome to be here and for it to finally be coming out into the world. He's such a talented filmmaker and such a wonderful person, so for his baby to finally, I don't know, it's amazing.
No, it's amazing. You killed it in the trailer. This movie is very masculine heavy, but we do see two amazing women in the trailer, and you happen to be one of them. So what was that like? Because I feel like when you do noir and gangster films, you mostly hear about stories about men, and you don't really see the women behind the scenes because the women were very powerful. So what was that like, being on set and kind of being like, you know, I'm one of the main women here. Here I am.
I think people have to see the movie. I don't want to reveal too much, but you know, I think one of the themes this movie really explores is that nobody is ever what they seem, and it was a very fun theme to explore because I think there's a lot of truth to it. I think if you're open to really looking deeper into anyone, there's more than meets the eye. So that's what I'll say.
I love it. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you.
I love this.
Thank you.
I love the colors and everything. Thank you. You're so legendary.
Thank you so much, and I'm honored to meet you.
Well, I would say congratulations because your beautiful daughter is also in the film. But as a legend yourself, you've been in the acting game for a while. How does it feel? Because I heard you say like both of your daughters are kind of in the industry. How does it feel to kind of pass the torch and watch them now on film?
It's exciting, and I'm working on a project for Universal with my other daughter, Maddie. She's a writer right now. That's what she's doing. So she's writing a movie for me for Universal. And so that's really exciting. Just spending the day kind of like talking about just, you know, working on the characters and doing things like that. It's really fun. It's fun because we're all kind of, including my incredible husband, Howie Deutsch, we're all kind of in the business, so we have a kind of shorthand with each other, and we all still have a great love of this business, and now even more because of the pandemic, we realize how important it is to create things for people to just kind of like to thrill them, to excite them, to give ourselves a break from the horrors of every day. And that just keeps coming, man.
It will not stop.
It will not stop. It will not stop. So, you know, I'm so excited to see this incredible movie that Zoe is starring in. I love all the characters she creates. She's always so good. And I am really excited.
Well, for you, look, you just spoke about being in the industry. You and your husband are very legendary. So when your two daughters come to you and say, you know, I want to be in the industry, what is that conversation like? Was that something where you were like, I kind of want them to do their own thing? Or were you and your husband like, you know, what were kind of like the gems that you gave your daughters about the industry?
You know, it's like they had no choice. You probably have to talk to him. He's important.
Queen, you are very important.
You know what? They were just kind of, you know, both just couldn't help it but end up in this business. And so I just made sure that they waited a long time until they were old enough to kind of handle it. So I have advice, but I have to make sure, just like any mother, that they ask for the advice. I can't give advice until they ask.
I totally understand that. Well, this is called The Outfit, and I know it's about mobsters and gangsters, but because you've walked many red carpets, what is your favorite outfit that you've worn any red carpet before? If you do have a favorite.
I think I wore a dress once, I think, when I presented at the Emmys, and it was red, and it had fall leaves on it. It was really beautiful, silk. I looked really good in that dress. That was and they let me keep it.
Ooh, that's always nice.
They usually don't. And I borrowed this from Zoe.
Well, this looks great. You look amazing. Thank you so much.
Fendi.
Come on, Fendi. A legend wearing legendary brands. Thank you so much, Leah. Enjoy the film.
Thank you.
You have a good night. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. It was
And I was like, wait, he's tall. Okay, so congratulations on the outfit. So tell us a little bit about your character and who are you playing in this amazing film.
My character is a bodyguard for Miss LaFontaine, and I just pull up. I make sure Madame LaFontaine is looking fantastic. She's safe. She's on deck, and I just follow her orders. That's pretty much it.
I know that's right. As a fan of like noir crime and the gangster films, I feel like you don't really get to see other people and other players, especially people of color. So I know when I seen the trailer, I was like, because I know the history of the mobsters, and I know that there were black mobsters and black gangsters, but I feel like a lot of films do not highlight that. So is that something that attracted you to the film?
Yes, that was one of the key things, because normally, like you said, if you see a brother or sister in a movie, they're normally like cut off in the first half, or they're just there as a prop, or just there as, just to add some kind of flavor to the movie. But in this case, it was substance to what we brought to the movie, because it was like, okay, yeah, we are black, but we aren't as whack as what you guys may think. So it was just really interesting to see that for once that it was being displayed in a position of like power and respect, and it wasn't like a case of we had to demand it. It's not like we're out here just causing a ruckus. It was a case of we're here, deal with it. I see
the trailer, I was like, yes, finally. And you like three look like some badasses. So
yeah, most def.
That to me is major.
Yeah. It was like I said, outfits were fantastic, but how like Nikki, oh, she was fabulous. Like, I think I saw her and I said, I know what to do. Like, when her presence was just made everything so much easier, because then I knew, okay, I knew my role. Protect you. Why wouldn't I want to protect you? You're fantastic, So, yeah, it was great.
Speaking about the outfits, this is a period piece. This is the 50s. So, we have the gangsters in suits and all that amazing stuff. So how was costuming and makeup for you? Like, when you guys put it on, did you get right into the role and you were like, all right, I belong in Chicago. This is where I belong?
I think from the time when they told me no beard, I said, bet, we're doing this. And then from the time when they gave me the hat, they gave me my gunslinger, they gave me the shoes, I said, yeah, then we had to practice how to shoulder. I was like, yeah, I'm sold, say no more. So the poster was fantastic. The makeup, I had to have like a little side part on my hair, because I had an afro before and was blonde, and so I had to dye it black. Fantastic. Yeah, it was fantastic.
You guys just look amazing. That's why I love the genre. I love the costumes. So when I seen you three, I was like, finally, absolutely. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Have a good one. Thank you. You too. Congratulations on the outfit. So you're from Chicago.
I am from Chicago.
This takes place in Chicago, and I am a fan of noir, crime, and mobsters, and I feel like the mob has a strong history in Chicago. So was that kind of the inspiration behind this film?
Very much so. It came from kind of finding out about this real story that I had never heard of before, and this is true. The first bug that the FBI ever planted in its history, they planted to get at the mob, and they did it in Chicago in 1956 in a tailor shop. And once I heard about that, I turned to my friend and co-writer and said, oh, well, that sounds like a movie.
That sounds like an awesome movie. I also seen an interview where you said that your grandfather was also an inspiration behind this film. Why is that?
My grandfather was, before he passed, one of the closest people in the world to me. He was really a surrogate father figure to me in a lot of ways. My parents split when I was about 7, and my grandfather came in and was just such a formative figure. He took me to the movies for some of the first times when I was a little kid. He taught me how to tie a tie. He was, I think, the kindest, most gentle man I've ever known in my life. And he was a doctor in this small town. He had this little kind of corner shop medical practice. And one of his patients was the notorious mobster Jerry Katina. And it was always the subject of family fascination. My grandma would always go up to him and she would always say, hey, how do you do this? I can't do my grandma's voice, but she would always go, how do you have this murderer? You're treating this murderer. Why do you let this man through your doors? And my grandfather, bless his soul, he would always say, the man has never been anything but a gentleman to me.
I love that. Because I feel like that's most of the stories that you hear about a lot of mobsters and a lot of gangsters, that they were really kind people and had family, but they just had, separate jobs on the side.
There are two sides to every person, and I think that is certainly something we find in this film.
Exactly. Something really cool about the film, it kind of flows like a play because it's in chronological order and you guys are in one location. What was the idea for that? Like, was this something that you originally wrote? Were you experimenting? Were you playing around? Or were you like, this is how we're going to do it?
Yeah, when my co-writer and I started writing the story, we were obsessed with these kind of craftspeople who make these beautiful suits. The character of Leonard, who Mark Rylance plays, is a guy who spends his whole life sort of locking the door to his shop and just trying to make something beautiful. All he wants to do is pretend the outside world doesn't exist as he crafts this beautiful thing behind closed doors. And what he finds as the story goes is that you can't do that. The outside world is always still there. But once we started getting into the story and getting into his headspace, it felt like there was this opportunity to do something in one space because he never left. That our lead character never leaves the shop, so what if the camera doesn't either?
I love that. That's such an interesting plot and idea, and I can't wait for the rest of the fans to see the movie because it looks really amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great night. Thank you.
Let me say hey to this guy real quick.
Okay, no worries.
I'll let you finish talking.
Really, genuinely very good.
Hi. Well, first of all, I love your suit. It's going with the theme. Congratulations on the outfit. What was the writing process like for this film?
Graham Moore, the director, and my co-writer, and I had the idea to do a film about a tailor from Savile Row, and so we spent a year basically talking about tailoring and getting suits and things, and just sort of figuring out the story. We just talked about it for a year, and then we spent another few months just passing the script back and forth and figuring out exactly who this guy is and where we needed to put him, and then we handed it out into the world and crossed our fingers, and that was basically the process.
I love it. I love that it's in chronological order and it's filmed in one location. So was that the original theme when you guys were originally writing it, or was it an experiment? Did you switch it up? How was that process?
That's a great question. We always intended to never leave the tailor shop because we realized that the character Leonard, played by Mark Rylance, is a very interior individual, and he doesn't leave the shop, and so we really wanted to capture that part of his psyche and that as an extension of his life. And moreover, we wanted the challenge of figuring out how to create and sustain tension. When you don't cut around to a million things, it's a little bit trickier, and it was kind of a cool writing challenge to try and figure out how to make that happen.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. One of my favorite genres. I absolutely love it, but I also, when I seen the trailer, I seen a group that was probably different, a group of color, a woman in charge. What was the idea behind that? Because I feel like normally when I watch noir, when I watch monster movies, you don't really see a lot of women. You only see like a particular group. So what was that process like?
In the process of researching gangland in the 50s and that kind of thing, there were many women, there were many gangs of color, there were a wide array of criminal enterprises out there trying to get theirs, right? And it felt wildly disingenuous for us not to include the entire world that we discovered. Also, the world is full of lots of different kinds of people, and we wanted to make a movie that encapsulated the broadness of the world that we live in, right?
Well, congratulations. I'm super excited. I can't wait for the fans to see this because I seen the trailer and I was like, this looks so badass. So really, really excited. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Love this suit. Love it.